Alright, so I am here to talk about a movie I was so excited to see right when I heard it was announced, and called The Disaster Artist. And now when it was announced, I never even saw The Room, but I knew of The Room. I knew it was like the best, worst movie of all time, but I'd never seen it before. So I went and watched it, and they're right, it's crazy bad. Like, crazy bad, though. Like, it's not just bad, it's like insane. This movie's on another level of like bad. Like, it's great because it's so like, how did this happen? I liked The Room at the end of it. Like, I appreciated it for what it was, but I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan. I do like it, and it grows on me the more and more like that I think about it. Like, the more, yeah. And I want to, like, after watching The Disaster Artist, though, I want to watch it again immediately. But yeah, so James Franco wins Best Golden Globe actor for musical/comedy, and that's awesome because he did do a fantastic job. But then, like, he got called out for rape allegations. No, not rape. What was it? Sexual assault? Sexual harassment? I don't know. A lot of women came out and said that he touched them weird, and or did something to them. And that's really unfortunate because I really like James Franco, and it's super unfortunate because I love this movie. I loved this movie. It, like, on the one hand, like, I so related to it because, like, I'm a filmmaker, you know what I mean? So, like, I got it. What he was talking about, like, oh, it's my vision and no one believes in me, because, like, I feel like, okay, I'm not bad like that. I don't think. But, like, I know what it's like to be making something and have everyone say, I don't get it, I don't understand. And then it finally comes to fruition, and then they're like, oh, I get it now. You know, like, to be making something and have everyone not get it until, like, it's finished. And, like, that's another part of this movie that's crazy, is that, like, how much is true? How much isn't true? Like, did he actually think it was real? Did he not? Where is he from? How did he get the money? How old is he? All these things are, like, insane that we don't know. Like, it's actually crazy that any of this happened. I think that's one of the biggest reasons why this movie is so great, is because it all did happen. Like, that's insane that, like, this movie was even made. But yeah, it's really funny. Like, the casting scene where they were trying to cast Lisa is hilarious. Seth Rogen is just great in this movie, as he's just, like, severely, like, annoyed, like, with Tommy Wiseau. James Franco has one of the best performances of the year as Tommy Wiseau. Also, I have a strong affinity for people who can, you know, direct, write, and produce, and then also star. I love that. When one person goes and does everything, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Don John, or like, I feel like there's more examples, you know what I mean? But just in general, though, like, when someone could, like, pretty much single-handedly make the movie, like, it's just amazing, and I love that. Like, James Franco did such a fantastic job on this movie. I love the little opening part with people, like, talking about The Room. I think that's great. I think Dave Franco did great. Surprisingly, I watched 2 Dave Franco movies in a row. Again, on accident. Like, I watched 2 Shannon Elizabeth movies in a row on accident. Didn't think, like, oh, man, you know what I'm in the mood for? Some Shannon Elizabeth, which I always am. But, like, I don't even like Dave Franco, and I watched 2 Dave Franco movies right in a row. And he's great as Greg Sestero. Everyone's great in this movie. It's so interesting to watch just such a crazy phenomenon go on screen. And it's crazy because, like, the whole James Franco is a rapist thing, like, made me not be able to see this movie because it wasn't out. It never came out in theaters. It never was on demand or anything. Just today I saw it on iTunes and I was like, buying it right now. Like, it's crazy. I think this is one of his best movies. Definitely his best performance, I think, ever. I'm a huge James Franco fan, which just makes me really sad because, like, of the whole sexual accusations, which that's not good. But yeah, I adore this movie. It's just crazy. Now I want to watch The Room again. And another thing that I realized is that, like, they had to make the entire The Room movie. They had to make it all over again, which is insane. Like, because at the end they show, like, their scenes lining up, and they're like, see, we made the exact same movie, which, like, on the one hand, it's like, they didn't have to do that, but, like, it was so cool. Like, I love this movie. Wow, I so appreciate this movie. I think, because, like, there's so many stories about, like, how on set, like, was crazy, and, like, just movies about making movies are great. And, like, the whole, like, added conspiracy theory about how it's about his life is crazy. And just, like, what a character study of this psychopath, Tommy Wiseau, who is awesome. And he is legitimately the weirdest person ever. Like, I'm watching this movie and I'm thinking, did Tommy Wiseau watch this and be like, yeah, do that. Go ahead and make that. Yeah. Like, are you insane? Like, how crazy is he? He's not painted in a very good light in this movie. And it's crazy to me how, like, after the movie, like, okay, I wonder if the story of the premiere is, like, true. Like, if he was actually, like, walked out of the theater because everyone was laughing, and then, like, came back in and said, yes, that was my intentional comedy. And, like, did that actually happen? Because I doubt it. Whoa, that was crazy. That was such a nice payoff at the end, though, when he's like, well, why'd you do it? Because we're friends. And, like, you know, I'm like, oh, they are good friends. And, like, yeah, you feel bad for Greg because you're just like, oh, man, he's just such a nice guy, like, normal guy. And, like, he's got this virus, though, like, this Tommy Wiseau virus on him. And, like, you're like, this poor guy. Apparently the whole Bryan Cranston, Malcolm Middle thing wasn't real. Which I was about to say, I was like, no way, I would have noted. No, I'm like that, there's no way that happened. And apparently it didn't. But yeah, wow, like, all this stuff in the trivia about how, like, Greg Sestero was, like, didn't want to shave his beard because he was like, that's my way of, like, hiding from this movie, like, that's my disguise. And I'm like, whoa, like, this is all public, like, Tommy knows this and they're still friends, like, what? Like, it's crazy. I really hope they bring The Room to West Melbourne because I will go watch that again. I love this movie. The Disaster Artist is great. It's better than The Room. I don't know. I like The Room. It's just crazy though. I love, my favorite scene though is when he goes and buys the flowers. Like, when he's like, keep the change. Hi, Doug. Like, it's so fantastic. Like, how bad this movie is. Like, they're so right at the beginning where they're like, you could take all the best directors and ask them to make a movie like this, and none of them would come close to making one as great. And, like, that's so true because this movie is fantastic. The Room is fantastic. And Disaster Artist is just amazing. Everyone should go see this movie. It's fantastic. 5 out of 5. I love this movie. It made... I got emotional. I didn't cry. I wanted to cry, but, like, I did. It made me so happy to, like, watch this movie, and I could, like, relate to, because I love filmmaking, and, like, just to see how a movie this iconic got made was just great. And 5 out of 5. James Franco is probably gonna be on my list for best actor. Like, I already made my list, all my nominees, but, like, honestly, I'm going to add him in because he was fantastic. I don't know who I'm going to take out because that's a tough category. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Adam, you bought this on iTunes, so you're probably going to watch it again. Other than that, though, I don't know, though, because I pretty much already made my top 10 list. Like, I was, like, feeling antsy, and I was like, I'm going to do it. And, like, I don't know. It might make it. It might not. Because this makes 16 movies of 2017 that got 5 stars. 16. Which is an insane number. And, like, I'm at least going to see 3 more 2017 movies. Call Me By Your Name, The Darkest Hour, and Phantom Thread, which I'm not excited for any of them because they all look boring and stupid. But, yeah. Love The Disaster Artist. Definitely go see. It's a marvel that this movie even got made, and, like, just to watch it happen is crazy because it is a disaster. And Tommy Wiseau is most certainly an artist. Thank you.